right, and welcome back in to another installment of the 94 podcast. I'm Brook Eddle, joined here with my co-host, Jim Bushy. Where else would you rather be than here right now, Jim?
Man, I wish I was there in person. That's where I wish I could be. But man, other than that, it's another college football Saturday, which means tomorrow is another Sunday football, Sunday full day of football. I'm ecstatic. Man, I'm ecstatic.
That's amazing. Like a happy new year. New football, week one in the books. What a week one it was. Vikings ended week one on that Monday night matchup with the Chicago Bears. The division, as we look at it, Packers are 2-0. They did play on Thursday, but they were able to take care of business against the Lions in week one. But before we talk about what the Packers did on Thursday, let's talk about what happened in week one for the rest of the division. So the Lions, they took an L. They took a big step back, it felt like, in regards to that game. But let's not bury the lead. J.J. McCarthy, NFC Offensive Player of the Week in the, well, I guess to this date, the biggest comeback of his career in his first career start, starting the fourth quarter down 11 points, 17-6, scoring 21 points in the fourth quarter. It was a roller coaster of emotions watching it objectively and just realizing, like, hey, he's a rookie. He's going to make those mistakes. This is his first time actually getting out there in live. Like, actually, this game counts. And it was almost 20 months since his last meaningful football game, which was the national championship against Washington. J.J. McCarthy, what was your overall, feeling throughout that game in regards to offense and defense and how the Vikings looked against the Chicago Bears?
I mean, the start of the game, it was like, oh, this is a brand new Bears team. They're going to take off. Then in the defense, it didn't look good. Offense couldn't get anything going until the third quarter. And it was hard to watch at the beginning of the game. Caleb Williams, he looked good. That defensive line for the Bears looked good. We looked terrible. And then JJ, he looked like he was rusty. But he was able to get it together. And you can see there's a future with him. We could see him go forward. We could see him be the next one of the best quarterbacks coming up. We can see that happening. And I think he led a good comeback. He finally found his mojo. They need to keep it up because they're playing the Bears. If they play like that against a better team, they're not going to win. But it's a start, and we'll take the win when we can.
Absolutely. The final score being the Minnesota Vikings 27, the Chicago Bears 24. Quarter by quarter breakdown for game one for the Vikings against the Chicago Bears. Chicago started the scoring in the first quarter. Nice scramble by Caleb Williams, race to the end zone, was able to get his first rushing touchdown of his career. He didn't score any rushing touchdowns in his full rookie season. Was able to check that off the list in game number one in season number two. And also the Bears continued and they were able to pour in another 3 points to end the half, leading the Minnesota Vikings 10, and then the Vikings had a pair of field goals. And nice field goal by Will Reichert right at halftime to pull the Vikings within 4. 10-6 was the halftime score. And at that point, I would agree with you. The whole team seemed like they were not on the same page. They're out of sync. The chemistry was definitely lacking, and I know that there was a lot of literally there was a lot of Tuesday morning quarterbacks that were saying, "Hey, what was Kevin McConnell doing in the first half? Like, he needs to play his starters more in the preseason because there was a lot of rust that needed to get knocked off." And knowing that, Justin Jefferson, first time playing with J.J. McCarthy, you got Adam Thielen coming back into the system, you got T.J. Hawkinson. You're missing one of your weapons in Jordan Addison, but you still have Aaron Jones. I was really impressed by Jordan Mason, though. I was impressed by Jordan Mason and how hard he was able to run throughout the entire game. And just taking a look at the stats in this game, what we're able to see, the Vikings and Bears. Vikings, on all the scoring drives that we're seeing here, touchdown for the Bears, as we mentioned, was the Caleb Williams rushing touchdown. That took 13 plays, 61 yards, and it ran a total of 5 minutes and 41 minutes off the scoreboard in regards to time in the game. And Vikings followed that up with an 8-play, 25-yard drive. So good, fairly good field position. And it only took 3 minutes and 10 seconds to get the first score. I'm sure that felt really good for J.J. McCarthy, just at least get points on the board. And then the Bears followed back again in getting a field goal. And then that field goal that we mentioned where it took only 18 seconds, but Vikings were efficient with the 4 plays, 28 yards, and getting Will Reichert out there to end the half with a career long of 59. So that left the first half juiced. Third quarter, there was a touchdown, the first touchdown, but it wasn't to the right team. It was a pick six, and he runs it back. It was like 74 yards. It was a significant, it was a significant amount to. Yeah. Go ahead.
I was watching that.
Yeah. What were you feeling?
I was like, no, please tell me we didn't make a mistake on JJ. Like, but
it was
so
JJ to the JJ
there.
too. He was throwing it to Jefferson outside. Yep.
I know, but it felt like, oh God, did we make a mistake? Like, is this just a sign of a mistake that we made? He's gonna make something up. He's gonna. Are we actually going to lose the game? Did we actually go backwards and not progress, not forward? Are we going to win those minimum of 10 games, 11 games to make the playoffs? Because that's the feeling I had, because it was all Bears the whole time to this point.
Oh, absolutely.
And I'm just like, it was just like, oh God. And I didn't want to, I was like, please tell me we're not rebuilding. I don't have time. I don't want to do this again. Too many of my teams have been like that. All my favorite teams have been rebuilding for years. But just to see how they came back after and responded was perfect.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. Like you end the third quarter domination by the Bears. They're up 17-6, 11-point lead going into the fourth quarter. You know what happened to start the fourth quarter? Cairo Santos was up to kick, and he misses. What was it, like a 50-yard field goal? It was like a 50-yard field goal. He misses it. And,
around there.
Yeah, around there. And it gives the Vikings great field position. And knowing that, hey, it's still a 2-score game. And at that point, J.J. McCarthy, one thing that the entire Vikings sideline was saying that he never got down on himself. And after that pick six, he went up to his teammates and apologized to him, like, "Hey, I got us. Hey, don't give up on me." That's what he said directly to Justin Jefferson, and Justin Jefferson replied, "You don't have to tell me, brother." And that just lets you know that Justin Jefferson and JJ McCarthy have already growing that chemistry and trust within each other. And that's a good sign. And I know that there was a ball that Justin Jefferson 99% of the time he comes down with, and it was early in the fourth quarter where they're mounting the comeback and they're trying to make plays to get back into the game.
It went right through his hand. I remember that one.
Yep. And everyone, like, I know I was getting texts from just like group chats that were watching the game. They were like, hey, what's up with this Jefferson fella? I'm like, all right, everybody calm down.
Only game one.
It's only one, only one. It's week one. It's only one, and this is his first time out there with a rookie quarterback. And he needs to make that play for J.J. McCarthy. And Jefferson even went back and after the game, he also took blame for the pick six, saying like, hey, like I ran the wrong route. We shouldn't have given it leverage on the inside. I should have been further out, in regards to being able to cut off that corner so that corner doesn't get that opportunity to break on the ball. But yeah, getting back into the fourth quarter, you get that 8-play, 60-yard drive to pull it within 12-17. You're within 5. It's still a ball game. You went for 2. You didn't get it. You kick off again, and then again, defense was phenomenal in the fourth quarter. Like they played a perfect game in the fourth in regards to allowing this comeback to even happen. The Vikings get the ball back, off that momentum, and they go 5 plays, 36 yards, 51 seconds for a touchdown. The first touchdown was to Justin Jefferson, and we got to see the gritty. The second touchdown was Aaron Jones, and then that was nice to kind of see J.J. McCarthy finding that second receiver, finding that halfback in the end zone. Just a great utilization of the offense. 2-point conversion goes to Adam Thielen. We're at 20-17. How did you feel at that moment, Jim, in regards to like the Vikings have taken the first lead of the season?
Phil Collins, I can feel it coming in the year tonight. So playing through my head because you feel the comeback come. You feel how the momentum has shifted from the Bears to the Vikings. You feel it, and then I forget when, but when Riker he hit his second field goal, the longest field goal in Soldier Field history. That was, he has a record at an opposing team stadium, so that's cool. But I just had that.
That's a fun fact, right?
Oh yeah, it was just like, oh my gosh, this is going to be awesome. I'm excited.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. No. Absolutely. A lot of excitement, a lot of adrenaline for sure in this fourth quarter, and again, it continued, and this was an 11-play, 68-yard drive that was capped off on 3rd and 1 with a 14-yard scamper by J.J. McCarthy, breaking the plane, following his lead blocker, T.J. Hawkinson, and being able to squeeze in inside the pylon, and the emotion, the raw emotion after he comes up after that touchdown. And, Brian O'Neill's like, you effing sicko. And, he's like, you got to love that in regards to your offensive lineman, just realizing like, hey, we have someone special here. And again, that's why we opened up the 94 podcast where else would you rather be than right here, right now? And I feel like J.J. McCarthy won the locker room in that moment. And being able to do something that Kevin O'Connell, was like, hey, if we have this available, we're going to be able to utilize it where a defense has no option to defend this. Like, it's a perfect play. You just got to execute it. And they executed it perfectly, giving the Vikings their 10-point lead with still some time on the clock, but at that point you were feeling pretty good. The Bears, they got a 9-play, 45-yard scoring drive. Only took 51 seconds off the clock, but at that point you kind of felt like, all right, it was a little bit too little too late. I mean, they scored like with 2 seconds right before the 2-minute warning. And, it was 27-24. They were still close, but you almost felt like if the Vikings didn't do anything catastrophically bad in regards to like a bad snap or either a fumble on special teams, that this game was going to be handled. Like, we were not going to relinquish the lead after that point. And then also one thing to note, Ty Chandler coming out of the end zone, that was huge in the sequence. That was a big mistake by Ben Johnson and the Chicago Bears by kicking the ball to a Minnesota returner. You got to either, they were saying this on the Manning cast, and they had Randy Moss on for the fourth quarter. So it might be kind of like a nice coincidence that they had Randy Moss for that entire fourth quarter, because that's when the offense came alive. And it was cool to kind of just also see Manning and Moss, and then obviously you got the two brothers, both Peyton and Eli, kind of breaking down what they were seeing with J.J. McCarthy and Caleb Williams. And it seemed like they were fairly impressed with what they saw on the offensive side of Minnesota. And then they were kind of like, hey, like Caleb Williams got to make these plays, because like there was a couple of throws there where Caleb, either it was too high or it was just a fastball that his wide receivers were not able to bring in for him. When the Bears, I think when the Bears kicked that off, and then the Vikings were able to run the clock out essentially and just salt it away, the final score being that 27-24. J.J. McCarthy, though, like in his first complete game, the first quarterback since Steve Young to be trailing in the fourth quarter and win their first career start. And he was able to do it in the similar fashion with 2 passing touchdowns and 1 rushing touchdown. I mean, J.J. McCarthy, Steve Young, I would imagine every Vikings fan or any J.J. McCarthy fan would love to have a similar trajectory to a Steve Young, if not higher.
Oh, 1,000%. Who wouldn't want to be the next Steve Young? Who wouldn't want to be the next Joe Montana? Who wouldn't want to be the next Tom Brady? Like, if you were, he's just started, so you gotta pump the brakes a little there, because just because he's in the same trajectory doesn't mean go out unless he actually follows through. But just to have a good trajectory is very helpful.
Absolutely, yeah. And yeah, we'll get more into it in regards to it's his first career start. We know that he's not going to go undefeated in every game. And just realizing hey, there's going to be tough games. They're going to be still coming up. There's going to be tests that he has to go through as a rookie. It's just, part of the deal, being an NFL player and just being able to get acclimated. Again, Jordan Mason, I feel like was a major shift in the tide. He finished the game with 68 tough yards, 15 rushes. He averaged about 4.5 per carry, and receiving. It was a little bit of a mix of everyone, because you had Aaron Jones, you had Justin Jefferson. Both, I think they both ended the game at 44 yards. Both did catch a touchdown. So it's good to kind of see that, hey, that Kevin O'Connell offense is going to include the running backs, the tight ends, just keeping the defense guessing. And same thing with Brian Flores. Definitely want to credit him on how he was able to make those second half adjustments. It seemed like Caleb Williams was more on script in the first half, and that's why you were seeing the success of the Bears early on, especially in that first quarter, getting that first touchdown of the game. They were able to stay in front of the chains and staying on schedule, and I think that was the big thing. And I feel like that kind of got away from the Bears as time went away in the fourth quarter, and then also part of the third quarter where they were getting good rushes, and I feel like they were able to, in a way, they were able to figure out what Chicago was trying to do throughout the game because they are familiar with Ben Johnson, knowing that Ben Johnson has, coached for the Detroit Lions. Heading into the game, Ben Johnson was 4-0 against the Minnesota Vikings. So he was perfect against the Vikings, and realizing in his coaching debut, it's a different beast in regards to winning on that level as a head coach. But yeah, Ben Johnson. What was your thoughts in regards to Ben Johnson? Do you think he was the right hire for the Chicago Bears? Or I know it's week one, so before we dive into too much into what we saw in this game, but what did you think of Ben Johnson before we take a look at what's going to happen here in week two?
Oh my gosh, we just had an upset in college football. 55 yards. Oh my God, Georgia Tech just 55 yards.
50 yards. Georgia Tech.
Just beat Clemson.
They just beat Clemson? Wow, that's Clemson's second loss. That potentially could have knocked them out of the college football playoff already.
Yeah, you were talking, and they just brought it up on ABC, and I was watching it, oh my goodness.
So I love that.
Just
I love it. That's awesome.
Ben Johnson, he's going to be a good fit. I think once they all get together, I think it's game one. They'll grow, and he'll probably win 7 games this year, probably, but nothing against the NFC North.
Caleb Williams only took 2 sacks. That definitely has to be
a plus there.
Right. Ben Johnson is putting him in more successful spots than I believe Matt Eberflus was doing. And Caleb was getting the ball to DJ Moore, Olamide Zacchaeus, Rome Odunze. Rome Odunze had a score. He had the most receptions, so he was his favorite target with 9 targets and a long of 17. You definitely want to see more of that for Caleb, being able to rely a little bit more on some of these playmakers. But obviously, you want to protect the football. It doesn't help when DJ Moore fumbles and you lose that ball. But yeah, overall, Ben Johnson, I think he did a really good job with the team that he has, and it's not going to be perfect. You're still in a transition. The Bears are still looking to improve with a lot of young players, a lot of young skill players. But I think they're going to be competitive. And week 2, they get the Detroit Lions, and I know that I'm not saying that Ben Johnson was looking past the Vikings, but for sure he had this game that's coming up in week 2 circled in a red Sharpie.
Oh, 100% he does. Go back against your former team. To be fair, that you decided to go leave and go further. He's going to have a little grudge, but he's going to enjoy the game, enjoy the matchup. I think he was looking a little forward, but hey, it's over. They probably are resetting and already now refocusing on Detroit.
Absolutely. Detroit. They went into Lambeau, and they got their nose knocked around. Mike Parsons was able to get a sack on Jared Goff, and Detroit, 0-1. must win game, I would imagine, against the Bears at home, and knowing that, like, hey, the Bears have your former offensive coordinator coming into town. This has to be gotta have it. This is that grit that Dan Campbell needs to show to his Lions right now, because there's a lot of people in regards to the NFL circles where they're saying, hey, the Lions are probably going to take a step back. I'm not so certain, because they still have Jahmyr Gibbs, they still got Jared Goff, they still have Amon St. Brown, they have Jameson Williams, they got Aiden Hutchinson back, which is going to be huge for that defense. And I know they got a tough schedule coming up. I mean, like, you got I know you got the Bears, but again, it's a divisional matchup, so anything can happen in those games. But then after the Bears, not to get too far out in the scope here, but after the Bears, the Detroit Lions go on the road against Lamar Jackson, and then they go they come back to Detroit to host the startup Cleveland Browns. But that Cleveland Browns defense is no joke, with Myles Garrett and Denzel Ward and their linebackers. Like, they're well disciplined, and they're a hard-nosed football team. So this might be a lot of pressure on Dan Campbell, but they got to have it this Sunday against the Chicago Bears. Otherwise, you might be looking at an 0-3 start, because I believe that's a Sunday night game, or that might be a Monday night game at Ravens. So that one's going to be a very uphill battle for the Detroit Lions on the road.
Oh, 100%. They need to win. It's more of it needs to get done. It needs to happen. You just can't let it stay. You have to get a win. And if they're not going to do that, it's a slippery slope that, hey, if you lose one, well, to the window will stop, because they need to get more one. And this probably is a good time to stop any momentum going the way you don't want it to go.
Absolutely. One last note on week 1 before we move on officially to week 2. J.J. McCarthy named NFC Offensive Player of the Week. Congrats to the rookie. On his first career start, he gets an award for NFC Offensive Player of the Week. What an honor for J.J. McCarthy.
Congratulations, man. He deserved it. He played well.
Absolutely. Let's take a look at the week 2 schedules here. We got a couple of early games here, Jim. We got the Cleveland Browns visiting the Baltimore Ravens. A battle of 2 0-1 teams. What a great game between the Bills and Ravens. 41-40. Instant classic. What a game, though, to just kick off the season for the Ravens, playing a playoff rematch last year in the divisional, and the Browns. They lose by 1 point as well. So both of these 0-1 teams lost by a point last week. Browns lost because of their ineptness at kicker and missing 2 field goals, and also they went out and signed Justin Tucker, former Baltimore Ravens kicker. So the Browns, what do we expect from the Browns and Ravens? 2 0-1 teams here.
It's probably going to be a classic, like always. Like, it's always Browns, Ravens. I think the Ravens are going to win. I think they just had a lapse in judgment last week against the Bills. But it should be a fun one. I think they will come back. I think the Ravens will come back. They're not going to stop Henry. If Henry ran like he did last week, this week there's no way they're going to touch him. So it's going to be a fun one.
Right, it's going to be a fun one. Browns, Ravens. I know Browns always play them tough. But yeah, I got Ravens in this game. Ravens are upset. I know the Browns are upset losing the Battle of Ohio to Cincinnati, but the Ravens, you could just tell the emotion. I mean, Lamar Jackson with the fan that was hitting DeAndre Hopkins on the top of the head, and then he also like shoved Lamar Jackson, and Lamar Jackson took exception to it, and then he shoved the fan back into his seat. That fan update has been banned from the Buffalo Bills stadium and all other NFL stadiums in the entire league. So yeah, that guy will not be at any other like NFL sponsored events. Tough break for the fan. And I don't know if you saw I don't know if you saw his interview with the local news in Buffalo. He was wearing a neck brace, and I don't know. It was just bizarre. But he did want to apologize to Lamar Jackson and the Bills and saying that, you know, he got caught up in his emotions. Lamar Jackson, same thing, got caught up in his emotions. But I know that this game will be very emotional because the Cleveland Browns were the Baltimore Ravens before the Baltimore Ravens moved the Browns team to Baltimore, and this will be a celebration of Art Modell, the Ravens owner. So yeah, there's definitely going to be some bad blood in the stands, but another great AFC North matchup. But before we talk about just these two AFC North teams, we got the Cincinnati Bengals starting 1-0 against the upstart Jacksonville Jaguars. What's your thoughts on the Jaguars and Bengals, both 1-0?
I think Jaguars, they played Carolina last week, so I mean, it's going to be good. I think Bengals are going to ride this high. I think Burrow and T. Higgins are going to be good. I think they take it off. I think they win by 2 scores against Jacksonville. Jacksonville's like one of those betweener teams who not sure yet, but I think it's going to be another fun one. But I think Bengals take it.
Absolutely, especially with Travis Hunter. He brings the excitement on what he can bring on to the football field, both on offense and defense. But yeah, I'm going with Bengals. Bengals are primed for a nice fast start here, and Bengals are not really used to that. Normally they're starting the season kind of slow and having to catch a couple breaks towards the end of the season. But Bengals, I believe with full confidence, they will go 2-0 at home against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Okay, we'll pick it up here. Giddy up. We got the New York Giants at Jerry's World and playing the Dallas Cowboys. Two really bad teams. Let's just say that. They're both 0-1. And quarterback play has been kind of inconsistent. I mean, I know it's Russell Wilson. We don't know how long Russell Wilson will be under center. When will Jackson Dart get his opportunity? Again, Brian Daboll maybe in the hot seat. We don't know with the Cowboys, but we realize the Cowboys, especially after what happened on Thursday night, where crowds in Lambeau Field were chanting, "Thank you, Jerry," and then also chants of Micah. Like, the Dallas Cowboys fans are hurting seeing what Micah Parsons is bringing to the Green Bay Packers and making their defense a great one. The Packers took care of the Washington Commanders 27-18. Packers 2-0. Commanders fall to 1-1. But looking at what the Cowboys have in front of them, Giants, Cowboys, what's going to be the result? What do you expect to see?
It all depends on how Russell Wilson plays with the Giants. I think Dallas, they had a good start to the game. They had everything going good. I think we just fell off at the end of the third game. So I think the Giants have a better chance of doing it. I think Giants will do it. We'll not do it light, excuse me. But I mean, I'm picking Detroit, Dallas on this one.
Okay, you're going with Dallas in this one. Okay.
Yeah.
And we did mention Bears Lions, so we'll skip over that because I know we did talk about that a little bit more in depth at the beginning. So we'll go to Patriots Dolphins, another battle of 0-1 teams. So someone's O has to go. That's for the Browns Ravens, Giants Cowboys, Bears Lions, Patriots Dolphins. Let's see if we have any more 0-1 team or 0-1 battles. That might be our last one. Yep, that might be our last one for this week. Someone has to go in this game. Will it be the Patriots? Will they get their first win? Or will it be the Miami Dolphins getting their first win at home? Home opener for the Dolphins.
I don't know. It depends on which Tua shows up next on Sunday. If he's going to be good, if the Miami Dolphins defense is going to be good, it all depends on everything. But here in Florida, I'm going to have to give the edge to the Patriots here.
Mike Vrabel gets the first win as the New England Patriots head coach. Okay.
Yeah, it does.
Mike McDaniel. He might be in the hot seat. We might not know it yet. He has to be in the hot seat, right? Going into this, like this season, has to be, because you got Tua, you got the weapons, but again, there's no running game. I feel like he's Kyle Shanahan diet, in regards to he doesn't run the ball. I mean, and he has players. Yet they have on A-Chain. You got Jalen Wright. You got Ollie Gordon that you just drafted out of Oklahoma State. I feel like this has to be a game that Mike McDaniel they have to form an identity, because right now I don't think the Dolphins have an identity, and as a football team, that's a dangerous thing to have a crisis identity, because teams are just going to right now, the Dolphins look soft. I'll say that right now. The Dolphins look soft. They look slow in regards to just like up front. They're not really competitive. The way that they just got shellacked by the Indianapolis Colts, and Daniel Jones just, I know Daniel Jones is not a world beater, but like, hey, he embarrassed you all on film.
100%.
Yep.
It's like, is Daniel Jones back, or is it just a one game thing? I don't know. It's going to be tough.
I'm looking forward to that game, though. It's going to be Indy hosting Denver. That'll be a late game. Yep.
Bo Nix. Bo Nix is going there.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I'm going Broncos in that game too. I like what I saw out of R.J. Harvey. I love the Denver's overall like secondary with Patrick Surtain. I know they also got Riley Moss on the other side, but just overall, just great defensive play by the Denver Broncos. They're known for just having just a solid defensive unit, and again, the Colts with Daniel Jones. They might be riding on that momentum, though. You just don't know. But Drake May, I want to see more out of him, and I also want to see more out of Trevion Henderson. I feel like they need to. They got to run the ball more, and I think we will expect to see that, especially out of a Mike Vrabel team, where it's just going to be all about field position. One of those tough games. I know that it might be a snooze fest for most people, but I think this is going to be one of those physical battles in Miami coming up. Speaking of physical battles and teams that are almost a mash unit at this point, the San Francisco 49ers, they go on the road to New Orleans. New Orleans 0-1, looking like possibly one of the worst teams this season. So Saints might be tanking for a quarterback, because right now I don't know if Spencer Rattler is the answer. But 49ers, they will be without Brock Purdy. That was some late breaking news this weekend. Mac Jones will be getting the start on Sunday.
I mean, hey, it's a chance for Jones to get a chance to be like, hey, I'm actually good, not just a washed-up person. It was all Belichick. It was all the other coaches' fault, not my fault. I can actually play. So it's going to be a good revenge game. I think it's a prove game for Jones, but it really just depends on how the offensive line holds against the Saints, and how if this, and really that's it. I mean, the Saints are not they're not making the playoffs the next couple of years probably.
No,
they still need to get a quarterback. They still need to get a lot of few things. So it should be an easy one. I think next week will be a prove game for Jones if he plays, but this should be a good one to make his mark, where he can go and try to get a start at another team.
Absolutely, like kind of the Sam Darnold way of being able to at least find a home, find a forever home. All right, before we get to Sam Darnold and the Seattle Seahawks, let's take a look at the reigning MVP, Josh Allen, riding high off that comeback win against the Baltimore Ravens, winning 41-40 at Highmark Stadium. They will stay in they'll stay in the AFC side of the conference. They'll be facing a division battle against the New York Jets. No Aaron Rodgers. It will now be Justin Fields. And Justin Fields had a great debut with the New York Jets, but they did fall short against the Pittsburgh Steelers in his revenge game against the Steelers and Mike Tomlin. Again, another quarterback that has a lot to prove this season. So we'll see with the Jets. Aaron Glenn is getting serious because he was not happy in regards to special teams play with the New York Jets last week. Xavier Gibson caused them a muffed punt, and that equated into points for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He is no longer employed by the New York Jets. So Aaron Glenn, very short leash in regards to players that will make mistakes on the field. Let's see if that standard changes with the New York Jets. But I expect the Bills to go 2-0. It'll be maybe a tougher game in regards to having a little bit more of an offensive flow with what we saw with Justin Fields, and seeing that they're allowing him to do a little bit more of what as actually is going to optimize his strengths. But yeah, I got Bills going up 2-0 early division lead in the AFC East. I think every other team in the AFC East took an L. Jets took an L. Patriots took an L. Dolphins took an L. So I think Bills are going to be off to the races already. Okay. Let's move on to the next game that I see here. Seahawks making the flight across the country to visit Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers and Mike Tomlin. So, Sam Darnold, Mike McDonald. What do you expect? What do you expect? I mean, the Seahawks going up against DK Metcalf in his revenge game. Seahawks looked really questionable. I mean, you got Kenneth Walker. You got to run him a little bit more. Zach Charbonnet, he was able to get in the end zone. Jackson Smith and Jigba got to hold on to the football. He got stripped for a fumble last week against San Francisco. Steelers, they looked impressive in regards to how Aaron Rodgers throwing 4 touchdowns. Now he's tied with Brett Favre, actually. So once was the apprentice, now the master, in Aaron Rodgers, looking to go 2-0 with his new teammates. What's your outlook on this game, Darnold, Rodgers?
It's going to be Rodgers. I think Pittsburgh has a good chance. I think they're going to go more than just over 500. They're going to be at a point where they can actually win a playoff game with Rodgers. I think he has the chance to do it. And Seahawks, they're shaky. I mean, they didn't look good. They didn't play good. It was, but who knows? Things can change from week to week. But I gotta give the edge to Pittsburgh here.
For sure, yeah. I would agree. Pittsburgh just looked like more of a team that was coming together, flying to the ball on defense, physical hits. You saw how the game ended with Jalen Ramsey's big clutch hit on Garrett Wilson. If had he caught it, it was going to be a first down on 4th and 5, but he blew him up. He removed the football player from the football. It was business as usual for Mike Tomlin. Like, even after that play, you still had Chris Boswell just knock like a 60-yard field goal for the Steelers to take the lead there. Just the way that he described his kicker, he's a serial killer. His pulse doesn't change in regards to those big moments. And I was just like, that's what a way to describe your kicker. But Mike Tomlin, 1 of 1. I think the Steelers are going to be one of those teams in the AFC playoffs, like you said, that could win a couple games, could make some noise in the AFC playoffs for sure. That brings us to the last of the early games. We got the LA Rams visiting the Tennessee Titans and Cam Ward. Cam Ward almost upset the Denver Broncos. I know it was a long shot, but they were still in that game. They were in that game going to the 4th down a point. Obviously, they weren't able to get the job done. Cam Ward also, his receivers have to help him a little bit more. Very shoddy work in regards to the receivers. They got to make more plays for him. But again, all around, the Titans have been a mess. You got to eliminate those mistakes. The LA Rams with Matthew Stafford, Sean McVay, Kyron Williams, Devontae Adams, Puka Nacua. I think Rams are heavy favorites, and deservedly so. Deservedly so. Yeah.
Yeah, I got the Rams winning, but I think Tennessee stays in this game. I think they stay in this game, but I think Rams easily can win this one. Though I am still hyped on Cam Ward, so
right.
Fingers crossed.
Cam Ward. Is Cam Ward Steve McNair 2.0? Could be. Right. We'll see how he progresses. It'll be definitely interesting to watch this rookie class of 2025. We mentioned Jackson Dart. We've already talked about Cam Ward. Other rookies, I mean, I guess you can consider JJ McCarthy in that rookie run. I guess this is his rookie season. So, but outside of the draft class 2025, the other quarterbacks that you see, Shedeur Sanders, I don't know when he'll get his opportunity. Dylan Gabriel, I don't know when he'll get his opportunity. You got Tyler Sco with the New Orleans Saints. A couple of those wide receivers as well. So we'll see in regards to like some of these rookies. Who's going to win the rookie or offensive rookie of the year, defensive rookie of the year? Those are going to be some interesting races to definitely keep track of. Speaking of a rookie that definitely impressed me is we're moving on to the first late game here on the schedule. Panthers at Arizona Cardinals. Territora McMillan actually played in Arizona, the state of Arizona, for the Arizona Wildcats. Bear down if you're from Arizona. That's what they say out there. But being able to see McMillan live last year in Arizona, going up against Colorado, like, he's a special player, and knowing, Bryce Young, no longer with Adam Thielen, we know that McMillan was going to be their high volume guy, similar to what we expect to see from Marvin Harrison Jr. On the other side with Kyler Murray. You got James Conner. You also got Tyler McBride. So great offensive weapons here. So we'll see. The Cardinals, though, let's see if they're able to go 2-0 for the first time since 2021, the last time that they made the playoffs. So Cardinals definitely have a lot riding on this week to see if they can continue that hot streak and, keep pace with the LA Rams, and also, potentially get some distance from the Seattle Seahawks, who may be at 0-2 at the end of this week.
I think with Kyler Murray, I think they have a good chance of winning too. I think they have more weapons. I think they have the opportunity to do it. It's a win and see. This game could go either or, and I think I'm gonna go Carolina with this game though. I think Carolina gets the win. I think Bryce Young plays good. I think that's what's going to happen.
Okay.
Could be 2-0 like a distance, but I think Carolina. I'm going to have to pick Carolina on this one.
Okay, Carolina. I like it. Carolina with a nice. They got a nice team. That would be a great way to bounce back, especially after taking one on the chin against the Jaguars in Week 1. Cardinals were able to survive the Saints in Week 1. So, this would be their second NFC South battle in as many weeks. I don't know. The Cardinals, we'll see. I mean, I did consider the Cardinals for my pick, but again, I don't want to. I mean, Bryce Young could pop off. I mean, he did win the Heisman, so and so did Kyler. So we got 2 Heisman winners in this game.
It's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be fun. All right. Next game on the slate. We talked about this briefly. We got Broncos, Colts. So this will be Sean Payton and Sean Payton trying to go 2-0 with Bo Nix on the road against Daniel Jones and Shane Steichen. And Jonathan Taylor. I mean, do you remember this game? It was in it was at Mile High where Jonathan Taylor, broke off like a huge run, and then right when he got to the 1-yard line, he decides to toss it out of bounds. So I know that he wants to get back against the Broncos in a big way, knowing that just knowing him as a football player. But I think the Broncos are a tough team to really, get matched up for, because Bo Nix is very similar to, what Drew Brees did in that Sean Payton offense. He doesn't just lock it on one receiver. He's just going to find the guy that's open, and that's just going to make things tough. But again, the Colts defense did look really good in regards to Cam Bynum. Nice addition off the Vikings in the offseason by the Indianapolis Colts. He's still winning with the celebrations after turnovers, and we'll see if Cam Bynum and the Colts break out any celebrations against Bo Nix and Sean Payton. But I think that will be one of those pick'em games, and I think that's going to be a fun game to watch in the afternoon. But
definitely will be a fun game to watch.
Absolutely. It'll be a fun game to watch, but I don't think anything is going to top this for just the late games. I'm talking about late games like the 3:30 games. Eagles, Chiefs. This is literally a Super Bowl rematch of last year. So you get Super Bowl rematch right away. Like, you get Super Bowl 59, week 2. You know it's big time when they got you on Fox and Fox Deportes. So you got Jalen Hurts, Patrick Mahomes, Nick Sirianni, Andy Reid.
It's gonna be a good one.
This is gonna be another chapter in the rivalry. It's gonna be a good one for sure.
I honestly would have made this Sunday night game or the Monday night game.
Right. I mean, like, you got a couple of Monday night games. There's a double header for this Monday night. I'm surprised it didn't land on one of those Monday night games. What?
Should have.
It honestly should have, for sure. Like, especially it's at Arrowhead. You would have been able to optimize the whole environment, having it be a night game. I mean, we could have. I mean, nothing against the Chargers, but Chargers Raiders. I mean, we could have switched that into a late afternoon game, right?
They could have flexed. I think they need to do some flexes early this season. They could have flexed that. You probably could have put both the Tampa Houston and the Chargers Raider game into the 4:00, so 3:30,
and just had Eagles Chiefs just as a sole Monday night game.
Yeah, honestly, I'm surprised they didn't do that.
Interesting, especially knowing that the recognition of both teams, like, globally. There's a lot of Eagles fans, there's a lot of Chiefs fans, and being able to maximize on that. It's a little surprising that this game ends up as an afternoon game. Nonetheless, we'll be on the Taylor Swift sighting. We'll see if she's in her box, her VIP box, and this is the first game. Yeah, she will be. This will be their first game in the States after the engagement was made public in the off season. If you're not keeping up with Taylor Swift, I don't blame you. Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift are officially engaged. We're waiting on the holiday movie for the wedding, so that's coming up. But again, let's talk some football here. We got Jalen Hurts, who looked really impressive in week 1. I know it was Spitgate in regards to Jalen Carter. We'll see if he's able to survive an entire game without getting ejected, because this was the team that you beat in the Super Bowl. So we already know from the get-go, Jim, emotions will be high. Xavier Worthy will probably be on a snap count, probably not as big of a factor as the Chiefs would like him to be. Travis Kelce will definitely need to step up in his production. Saquon Barkley, we'll see what he's able to do again against the Chiefs. He didn't do as much damage as you were expecting in the Super Bowl, but Jalen Hurts was able to take flight through the air and be able to find a lot of opportunities against the Chiefs secondary. We'll see how this one plays out, but I'm heavy on the Eagles right now. I really love what I saw from the Eagles opening night. I know that you get that big distraction at the beginning of the game. You're 5 seconds into the season, and you already have one of your stars being ejected just by being, immature and not emotionally mature.
Man, it's you can't do that. The game you haven't even run one snap and you're getting ejected.
Unacceptable.
My God, man.
Yeah,
it's unacceptable.
Exactly. Well, we pay you to play football, not to be a WWE star. Like, come on. No.
But if I had to pick a team, I'm going to go Chiefs. I think they get revenged in the game.
Okay. So that's interesting in regards to Patrick Mahomes. I mean, you got 15. You have a shot in all these games.
Yeah. So I think I'm going to take. Give me Patrick Mahomes this game.
Okay. Like, all right. Are we doing the fantasy stardom? Are we doing that? Because I know we got three more games to just to touch on first, but we can do the start 'em and sit 'em, where we will give you 5 players to start in your fantasy lineups, and obviously be able to win your matchup. But you said you want to take Patrick Mahomes. You feel like Patrick Mahomes is due for a big game?
Oh yeah, 100%. I think he's going to be good. I think they have no Worthy, so that's the only thing that's concerning. If there's no Worthy in the lineup, he has to go hit everyone else. But I think Mahomes will go off, especially with his legs.
Right. And do you think he'll also feature a little bit more Pacheco in this game? Kind of like keeping the ball away from the Eagles, because I feel like time of possession, I think, is going to be a big stat in this game in regards to like how long can the Chiefs sustain drives to keep their defense fresh, because it felt like in the loss to the LA Chargers, it felt like they were kind of running out of gas towards the end of that game, where Chris Jones was trying to go in for a sack. He lost contain, and the Chiefs go 0-1. But like, I think that might be a thing to watch in regards to like how the Chiefs kind of play it, and knowing that Andy Reid, former Eagles head coach, he has definitely been watching a lot of film and trying to figure out different ways to exploit this Eagles defense. But this Eagles defense, they do a really good job of being able to turn the ball over. Even Zach Bond, after giving up a long rush to Miles Sanders, he was attempting to knock the ball out, punching it twice before even going for the tackle. So this Eagles team is always going to be swarming towards the football. But yeah, again, great game. Definitely, if you're out and about, make sure to DVR this one. This will be one of those games that will be talked about in week 2. That brings us to Sunday Night Football. I've been waiting all day to watch the Atlanta Falcons visit the Minnesota Vikings. Atlanta Falcons 0-1. They lost a heartbreaker in the waning seconds with Young Ho Koo missing a field goal to send the game to overtime. Falcons lose 0-1. Vikings opposite side of a divisional battle. In the waning seconds, they were able to hold on, as we broke down earlier, with an 11-point comeback in the fourth quarter with a 21-point explosion of offense for the Vikings to be 1-0 in their home opener. Michael Penix, J.J. McCarthy, Raheem Morris, Kevin O'Connell. The rematch of the national championship game.
That'll be a good one.
Yeah.
Let's hope that the Cardinals quarterback wins this one.
Right.
So a repeat.
Exactly. I'm totally fine with a repeat of J.J. McCarthy going 2-0 against Michael Penix in big time games. There'll definitely be mention of the national championship leading into it. And then also the draft class of Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Drake May, J.J. McCarthy, Bo Nix, and Michael Penix. So what do we expect out of Atlanta? Bijan Robinson. You got Drake London, you got Kyle Pitts, Ray McLeod. He was really busy in the first game. I expect him to also be busy in this game against the Minnesota Vikings, with a lot of youth, and also knowing that Jeff Okudah is probably going to be held out of this game with a concussion. No Andrew Van Ginkel, so we don't have the Gink in this game. Harrison Smith more likely will be playing this game, but you do lose Blake Cashman for communication purposes. I think having Harrison Smith back is going to be huge. Just helping people get lined up correctly in the Brian Flores defense. This will be an interesting matchup between the two teams. And obviously, last time Atlanta came into town, it was the Kirk Cousins homecoming. This time, Kirk will be starting as the backup. But again, football is a funny game, so always a play away for the backup. So this could definitely turn into a part 2 of Kirk versus Minnesota.
Oh, 100%. Plus, it's the home opener for the Vikings. You know they're going to give Kirk Cousins his flowers. Even they're going to show him the Jumbotron.
Right.
But
right.
It's going to be a fun one. Give me the Vikings. I think they can beat Michael Penix Jr. I think they can get everything done. I believe in it. So I'm not too afraid of Atlanta, but you gotta make sure you get everything in. You can't just. This isn't going to be an easy win. It's going to be a win, but it won't be an easy.
Yeah, it won't be an easy win. It's going to be another great test for the Vikings to play all 4 quarters. So we're going to learn a lot about this team early in this season. You got the Falcons in the home opener, prime time, under the lights. Your entire fan base is going to welcome J.J. McCarthy and the Minnesota Vikings 2025 edition. I'm excited for it. This was going to be a really cool game just to watch how these two quarterbacks duel against each other. It's going to be similar to a boxing match that's going to happen later this week too, with Canelo versus Crawford. So we'll see how this bout goes between Penix and McCarthy. Yeah, we could do picks. We're wrapping up here with Monday night. Real quick, we got Buccaneers at Texans. Buccaneers 1-0 on the opposite side of that result against the Falcons. Texans, they are 0-1. They dropped their home. I believe they dropped their first game. I don't know. The Texans looked blasé against the Rams. They didn't score a touchdown. They had 9 points. They gave up 2 touchdowns to the Rams. D'Amico Ryans, I'm not hitting the panic button, but CJ Stroud, he needs more help. I feel like the offensive line is pathetic. They need more surrounding their franchise quarterback if they seriously want to keep him upright long term. Baker Mayfield and Emeka Egbuka, great chemistry already. The rest of the league has been put on notice. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to be very, very exciting to watch all season.
100%. I'm glad what they're doing. They're not starting like 1 at 6, 1 at 7. There's like 1 at 6 and 1 at 9. So at least you have time in between. You don't put between 2 games at once. This game I'm probably going to watch thoroughly. I think then the next game we're going to talk about, I'm just like, throw it on, background noise, not pay attention. But still, it's going to be a fun one. And this is a great way to end the week. I think if that game alone was the only game on Monday, I'd be fine with it. I think the Chargers, Raiders, we'll talk about next. It's cool, but that could have been a 4 o'clock game.
I agree. I know it's 2 of those markets that you want to grow more, like LA and Las Vegas, having them be on a Monday night just to kind of get more people to talk about, the overall success that the Chargers and Raiders are having right now, especially with Chiefs fatigue. I know that the Charger fans are like, hey, why can't we get a primetime game? And now they got a primetime game in back-to-back weeks. And Ashton Genty, Pete Carroll, that's a combination for 1-0 so far. Omarion Hampton, another rookie, and Jim Harbaugh 1-0. So gotta love that. Justin Herbert 1-0 was able to beat the Chiefs. Big momentum, and then knowing that they're going up against another divisional rival, this has to be one of those exciting games for both these clubs who get to see where they are. Is Geno Smith the guy for the Las Vegas long term, or are they maybe taking a look at their rookie that they took out of North Dakota State and Cam Miller? I don't know about Aiden O'Donnell. He looked kind of, I don't know, he kind of looked backup-ish to me. Like, I don't think he was really going to be considered for any starting job heading into the season. Thus, why there was a Geno Smith trade. Yeah, I would probably say the same. I'm not really too invested on the Chargers. I mean, like, I'll watch it for fantasy and all those purposes. But beyond that, I'm expecting the Chargers to win this game. Raiders are at home. I know that they always play tough in Vegas. But I'm going Chargers. I feel like the Chargers have kind of turned the corner here, and they slain the boogeyman in Patrick Mahomes. So I feel like they got a lot of momentum. They're going to carry that through, and I really like Ladd McConkey here for a big game.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun one. I think look at last one had a great game too.
Oh, for sure. And they always have like crazy games between the Chargers and Raiders. Didn't the Raiders beat the Chargers like 70 to like 15? I think a few years ago on a Thursday night or something. But I want to get back into our stardom and situm. I don't know if you want to kick us off with your quarterback for this week, Jim.
Yeah, I'll start with my quarterback. I think I'm going to have to take. I'm not taking Patrick Mahomes. I know I said a lot, but I'm gonna go down. We're gonna go back to the 1 o'clock games. Give me Joe Burrow. I think Burrow and Joe Burrow and T Higgins. Those two are gonna go off this game. Those are my wide receiver quarterback pick.
Okay. Joe Burrow, T Higgins. Okay. All right. Solid picks. Okay. All right. So for my quarterback, I know I went Joe Flacco last week, so I'm probably going to steer clear from Joe Flacco. He did throw the ball about 45 times, so it was not from a lack of effort. But yeah, the Browns, they didn't. I don't know what it was in regards to just being able to get that chemistry going. I think they do have some great players in Cleveland, but I'm taking a look at for my quarterback this week. I'm going Aaron Rodgers. I like Aaron Rodgers.
Okay.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers at home. I think he continues the hot start against the Seattle Seahawks. And I know that he definitely has a bone to pick with the Seahawks fans. So that will be a fun one. And for wide receiver, okay, that's a good one. I might have to go back to the gravy train here. I'm going to go with Emeka Egbuka. Got to go back to the gravy train here. I think he...
All right, that's not that pick at all.
Okay. No, it's not a bad pick at all in realizing that, hey, Baker Mayfield, once he gets in the right alignment with his guys, he's going to make sure to look out for them. And also just great presence by the rookie and just calling it out, saying like, hey, just give me the ball on this cover two. Like, I'm going to go out and I'm going to make the play. Next play, they run it, scores the game-winning touchdown. And this come from Mike Evans, future Hall of Famer. So that's kind of that's kind of like a cool feeling in regards to being a Tampa Bay Buccaneers player right now and just realizing you have Bucky Irving and you have Emeka Ibuka just in their infant stages of their careers, budding stars in Tampa Bay already. Okay, so that brings us to running backs and tight ends.
Yes, it does. Give me Aaron Jones for my running back.
Okay.
And then I'm going to take the tight end from Dallas. What's his name?
Jake Ferguson.
Ferguson, yes. I think he's going to get a lot of targets this time.
All right. So Jake Ferguson getting a lot of targets against the Giants. Okay. All right. That's a sneaky one. I like that. All right. For my running back this week, who am I going to select? I am going to go with, give me Kyron Williams. Give me Kyron Williams against the Tennessee Titans. Kyron Williams. And then tight end that I believe is going to have a nice breakout game. Give me Tyler Warren, Indianapolis Colts. All right. So that leaves us with one more slot, and that will be the defense.
Yes, it will be. Unless I have to go defense. Give me the Chargers.
Chargers. Okay. All right. I'll keep this short too. Give me the San Francisco 49ers. I like I like what they're about to do with this defense here. And I think the 49ers are going to take it upon themselves to really lean in on their defense, especially knowing Mac Jones is going to be their starter. They're going to try to make it as manageable of a game for Mac Jones as possible. Short field, and just being opportunistic. And the Saints, Spencer Rattler, I think they're going to rattle his cage, and there's going to be some turnovers. Just a premonition on that.
100%.
100%. Okay. Quick look at the time here. Before we go, I want to get your take on the NBA, and I know this is a news story that the NBA doesn't want you to really hear about or really want us to talk about, but this was the conversation in regards to Steve Ballmer, owner of the Los Angeles Clippers, and Kawhi Leonard. Have you heard a thing or two about this?
I mean, I've heard something about it. I'm not 100% into the story.
I got you. Yeah, I know with Steve Ballmer and Kawhi Leonard, they both are in some hot water in regards to the $1.7 million that was awarded to Kawhi Leonard. Basically, it was to circumvent the NBA salary cap. And I'm sure no legal officials were aware of this until the news got out in regards to, hey, we're paying him to do nothing, in regards to, like, he's not doing any type of advertisement or any kind of promoting of this technology, but he was just getting paid by Steve Ballmer, and I think the NBA is looking to punish them, but again, they don't want this to get exacerbated to the point where everybody's talking about how the NBA is crooked, and maybe this is not the only team that's doing this. And Mark Cuban has come out in defense of owners, saying like, hey, like owners have to protect their investments. But again, where do we see the integrity here in regards to like how these players are getting paid? A lot of these, under the table deals are happening. I mean, the Minnesota Timberwolves did this. Their owner, Glenn Taylor, he got suspended for, I think, half a season. Kevin McHale was the GM at the point. He had to take unpaid leave during the time. So I feel like the NBA has been a little bit more lenient in regards to a lot of these financial discrepancies that have taken place in the past. But just to understand right now, Kawhi Leonard is embroiled in a scandal involving allegations of a $28 million no-show endorsement with a now bankrupt company, which the NBA is investigating for potentially salary cap circumvention. So the overview of the allegations right now is the Los Angeles Lakers and Kawhi Leonard are under investigation by the NBA for allegedly engaging in salary cap circumvention through a questionable endorsement deal. Reports indicate that Leonard signed a $28 million endorsement contract with a sustainability company called Aspiration, which has since filed for bankruptcy. This deal purportedly allowed Leonard to receive payments without fulfilling any promotional obligations, leading to accusations that it was a means to circumvent the NBA salary cap rules. So he literally it was free labor. He wasn't doing anything for this company that has filed for bankruptcy. So the details of the investigation, I'll just kind of wrap up here too, Jim. I know you're listening into the whole backstory here. But the details of the investigation, the funding, the ownership, the controversy centers around the Clippers owner, which I mentioned, Steve Ballmer, who reported invested $50 million into Aspiration. The NBA is examining whether his financial relationship was used to funnel money to Leonard in a way that violated league rules. Nature of the deal. Documents suggest that Leonard was to be paid $7 million annually as part of his endorsement. So with no evidence of him promoting the company, this raises questions about the legitimacy of the deal, as other celebrities associated with Aspiration did promote the company, but Kawhi never did. And Kawhi is a big influencer. So like if he was gonna do something, like it was going to be noticed, but like he literally didn't post anything, didn't make any appearances. But the NBA's response, I'll wrap up here just so you can get your reactions as well, Jim. The NBA's response, the league has hired a law firm to conduct a thorough investigation into the allegations. If the Clippers are found guilty of violating salary cap provisions, they could face severe penalties, including fines and loss of draft picks. So that is more to come on this story. You'll definitely hear a little bit more about this. But just the overall reaction and implications, the Clippers have publicly denied any wrongdoing, calling the allegations absurd and distancing themselves from Leonard's endorsement deal. However, the ongoing investigation has raised significant concerns within the league about the integrity of the team's operations and Leonard's contract negotiations. So this scandal, if proven true, could be one of the most significant in NBA history, highlighting the complexities and potential abuses of salary cap regulations in professional sports. The outcome of the investigation will likely have lasting implications for both Leonard and the Clippers organization. I will close there just so you can get a little bit of what you are what did you digest from all that?
I mean, yeah, he's literally doing a contract where he does none promotion. He's getting paid for it. That kind of is fraud.
Yeah.
So it's going to be. I mean, I don't know if the Clippers can be involved there, but I mean, they probably will be because they're trying to circumvent the cap there. But I don't know. They'll probably lose a draft pick or two, and then they'll probably end up. Some suspensions will be handed out, so who knows? But you can't do that. You can't.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't do that and expect nothing to happen. Like, I'm sure that Adam Silver is just like, this is a black eye. We literally got a gambling issue. Like, they had Malik Beasley. His name was cleared. So thankful for him that, he's not going to get the lifetime ban. But, you had Jonte Porter. He got banned playing for the Toronto Raptors. And in regards to, you had Terry Rozier. So you've had names pop up over time. But, like, this is just awful by the NBA in regards to just, like, so you're just letting these owners eventually just get away with fraud. And the NBA has just been kind of just, turning the other cheek, or they're just kind of they don't want to acknowledge the fact that they were scammed by Steve Ballmer, and he's part of the organization. He's part of the NBA. He's part of the league board in regards as one of the owners. I would imagine he's probably going to get suspended from those privileges on being able to vote on certain rulings in regards to the salary cap, because obviously he's not abiding by the current salary cap rules. So I'm sure those are going to be updated, and I'm sure there's going to be a huge, there has to be a huge penalty coming up. Or obviously it's going to be held up against, hey, this is what the Timberwolves did. They lost draft picks. There was a lasting effect in regards to not playing by the rules and what happens when you get caught. But yeah, that's a little roundup there. Some sad news though in the NBA. We definitely want to send condolences to Naz Reid. His sister was murdered by, apparently, I believe it was a domestic relationship with her boyfriend. So yeah, very sad. Naz Reid posting on social media 2 pictures of him and his sister, his older sister, and he did say that his older sister really viewed him as one of her own children in regards to she was there raising him in Naz's, overall, like, his childhood and just realizing, like, how close he was with his sister. So, yeah, definitely rest in peace to Naz Reid's, big sister. Unfortunately, that news did break. And, yeah, obviously just all the crazy things that have happened. Definitely want to, just get people some peace here with the 94 podcast. And, I know this is entertainment, this is opinions. But yeah, just wanted to at least just realize, hey, like, there's things that are bigger than sports. But yeah, I just wanted to, at least honor Naz Reid's sister and, just kind of at least just take a step back and just realize, how special it is to in regards to being able to live life and being able to live life freely. But yeah, Jim, I know that we're wrapping up here. What else is going on in regards to? I know you were watching college football, so we can touch on college football here before we get going.
Not much. I mean, Georgia losing to Tennessee. The first quarter just ended. I believe it's 14-7 Tennessee. Or it could be 21. I could be wrong. But, I mean, not much. Just watching football until I got to go to work. Until work stuff happens again.
I got you. All right. Yeah. Right now, I'm seeing Tennessee, Georgia. That's a good game. 21-7 right now. You got Penn State up on Villanova. 10-0. You got Texas Tech. That game is delayed. Looks like a weather delay. And then we got the official college football team. No, I'm just kidding. Iowa State. Iowa State is aiming to go 4-0. The first 4-0 team potentially. They're up 3-0 on. I believe that's Arkansas State. Yep, they're up against Arkansas State the Red Wolves. So the Iowa State Cyclones, 14th in the nation, up 3-0. More scores: Texas, UTEP, scoreless early first quarter. And we have, this is going to be a good one. You have the USF Bulls and the Miami Hurricanes. USF Bulls knocked out my Gators last week. What a great win for the University of South Florida Bulls. They are ranked 18. They will be squaring off against the Miami Hurricanes. Another battle of Florida. Miami, no, hey, this is not a guarantee for Miami to win this game. They have lost games against more inferior opponents. So you definitely watch out for that one. I would definitely put Miami on upset watch. Arkansas, Mississippi, I would put Ole Miss on upset watch against Arkansas. Ohio State, I'm not worried about Ohio beating Ohio State. I could be wrong, but I think Ohio State will survive this week. They'll go 3-0. I see Illinois, and when did Illinois get so good? Jesus. They're number 9 in the league. They're number 9 in all of college right now.
I mean, hey, sometimes teams find a way to win, and they become good.
Apparently, right. So Champaign Memorial Stadium will be rocking 6 p.m. for a kickoff between the Fighting Illini of Illinois up against the Western Michigan Broncos. All right, more action here before we get going. Florida unranked in Death Valley against LSU. That's going to be good. That's going to be good. I hope the Gators come ready to play and they're not throwing shoes and getting penalized. But this will be a high emotional game. Florida going into this game, losing against South Florida at home last week, going up against a hated rival in the LSU Tigers, 2-0. Brian Kelly trying to stay undefeated. What a game that will be. Definitely putting LSU on upset watch there with DJ Lagaway leading the way for the Gators. And we got Notre Dame, Texas A&M. Notre Dame looking to bounce back from Labor Day weekend loss against Miami. Going up against Texas A&M, the Aggies are in town. They're in South Bend. Jim, did you know this, though? Fun fact. This will be the first game for Notre Dame where they will be serving alcohol at the concessions.
Wow. Oh, they did not know that.
Yes. So yeah, this is going to be a very lively and spirited crowd for the Irish at home against, I believe, Texas A&M. They're in the SEC, so this will be an SEC opponent. That's 2-0. So this is a big-time game for Marcus Freeman. Definitely must win, I would believe. Correct? I mean, you're Irish. This has to be a must-win, right? You got to win this game.
It's always a must-win. We have to win. We can't lose. We can't have anything like that happen. It's a must-win.
Must win, absolutely. And some headlines before we let you go here. Georgia Tech, as we mentioned, Jim with the upset in real time. Georgia Tech stuns Clemson with a walk-off field goal. Simpson, Williams shine as the Tide roll Wisconsin. Okay. Ooh, it looks like Oklahoma's Thomas Tost faces suspension next week. New Mexico runs wild, drops sloppy UCLA to 0-3. Ooh, UCLA is definitely a basketball school. They continue to take lumps. Yeah, they continue to take lumps on the football field. Minnesota likely without top running back versus Cal. So it would be the Golden Gophers against the Golden Bears. but the Minnesota Golden Gophers will be without their top running back. Darius Taylor is considered doubtful to play against Cal on Saturday night. So Coach PJ Fleck indicated this week that the injury was not considered long-term, but Taylor has a history of hamstring injuries. So Taylor Jr. ran for 141 yards in a season-opening 23-10 win over Buffalo, and has led the Gophers in rushing in each of the past 2 seasons, going for 986 yards and 10 touchdowns in 2024. So that'll be a tough game, but Minnesota has shown a promising passing game this season, as redshirt freshman Drake Lindsey has thrown for 429 yards and 3 touchdowns. So we'll see. The expectations for Minnesota to attempt to replace Taylor's production with a committee of tailbacks, including A.J. Turner, Cam Davis, and Fami Ijobi. I hope I said his name right. But yeah, we'll see. Like the Gophers though, like they're looking to go 3-0 in the season.
That'd be nice. I mean, you gotta look at their resume. But going 3-0 is a great way to start the season.
But no question about that. We'll wrap up here. Just quick whip around. So sorry here for the whiplash here. We're going to take a quick look at the MLB standings before we say goodbye today. Blue Jays, AL East leaders. Detroit Tigers, AL Central leaders. AL West, Seattle Mariners tied with the Houston Astros. Now moving to the National League. National League, Philadelphia Phillies, NL East leaders. AL Central, Milwaukee Brewers, AL Central leaders. NL West leaders. Los Angeles Dodgers leading the way there in the NL West. So yeah, you got some tight races there with the Padres only 2.5 games out behind the Dodgers. Cubs 5.5 games out behind the Brewers. Mets in the rearview mirror, 12 games behind the Philadelphia Phillies. And we did mention there was a tie at the top of the AL West between Seattle and Houston, and you have Texas knocking on the door with 2 games behind. We're in the final stretches here, Jim. We got about maybe like 15, 16 games left, I believe, in the entire season. I mean, we're halfway through the schedule in September. What's your overall feelings about the Boston Red Sox? I mean, I got to talk about your Boston Red Sox, good, bad, or indifferent. We got to talk about your team.
I mean, they're good from where they started to where they are now. They're in the playoff hunt, so if they continue to win, they just need to string together some wins. They need to get hot again, and then to get into the season and make sure we get into the playoffs and hopefully win some games there. That's what we're aiming for right now. Just get in for right now. Right.
Just get in right now, and everything will just take care of itself at that point. You're 148 games or so in. So like basically you got like maybe like 12, 14 games left in regards to being able to make up ground or, kind of shift in regards to the overall playoff picture. But man, oh man, Minnesota Twins have definitely taken a nosedive. They're down to like 82 wins. 82 losses and 65 wins. There's still, I don't know, that's kind of insane that they got that bad so quickly, that they nosedive past the Athletics. They're behind the Angels. They're behind the Orioles. I did not expect that because the Twins actually at the beginning of, I guess, the All-Star break, they were in contention with the division with Cleveland. I know Cleveland fell off too, but I guess with what we've seen is a lot of these teams have kind of just gone belly up, and the Detroit Tigers will be representing the AL Central. And again, your Boston Red Sox, I mean, they just need a chip in a chair, right? Is that what your feeling is?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay, absolutely. My Cubs are sitting at 84-63, five and a half games out. One on currently on a 3-game winning streak. Want to stay in that wild card. Want to stay at least in contention. It looks like the division is probably out of grasp at this point, especially with the head-to-heads probably dwindling down to the point where you're not going to make up 5.5 unless Milwaukee completely bottoms out the last 14 games here. But I'm just hoping the Cubs can at least stay healthy and just continue to play solid baseball. But yeah, that'll just wrap it up here in regards to what we're taking a look at here in all the sports. I know U.S. Open was last week, so congrats to the winners there. I think Alcatraz was able to win again for back-to-back U.S. Open wins. And I know there was hold on. Oh, yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, that was a great couple sets. They had that match actually got delayed an hour because Trump was at the match.
Okay, so he was at the match. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Was he there for the women's or was he there for the men's only?
Men's only.
Gotcha. He was there for the men's only. Gotcha. As Sabalenka, she was able to capture her 100th major match victory with a repeat U.S. Open win. But as we mentioned, Carlos Alcaraz and Jannik Sinner, they were in a classic. And you said it got delayed an hour because Trump was at the game or at the match, I guess, in New York. But again, tennis is definitely making a resurgence. Just wanted to at least give them a shout out, and also the U.S. Open, just a great event. Definitely want to get out there one time to be able to experience that in person. But yeah, definitely. Any closing thoughts there for you in regards to what you're looking forward to seeing in sports in general?
I'm just waiting for tomorrow for football to start again.
There you go. Week 2, just a day away. But yeah, I do appreciate you, Jim, for jumping on here and making it work. We'd love to get some guests coming up. Get Cody and also Coach Chauncey back into the rotation. But yeah, looking forward to just more football tomorrow, week 2. Get your starting lineups in there. Like I said, we got great lineups here. We got Joe Burrow, we got T. Higgins, you got Aaron Jones Sr., you got Jake Ferguson, and you got Chargers defense. And on my side, I got Aaron Rodgers, Emeka Ibuka, Kyron Williams, Tyler Warren, and the 49ers defense. Good luck this season to any fantasy players out there. But my survival pick that I will be going with for this week. Ooh, this is gonna be tough. I might have to go. Steelers because I really like what I saw with Aaron Rodgers, and I think that this is probably the safest game to pick the Steelers.
Yeah, it's not a bad pick at all.
Not bad at all. Thank you again, Jim. Hope you have a good rest of your day in the new station. Until next time, we'll see you at the TOP, and we're out.
Yep.